We're gathering on the land of the Muwinina people, the Big River people, land that has been cared for and sustained Aboriginal people for 150,000 years. Every day we touch the morning and say we are honouring our ancestors, we're honouring those that have walked this land before us. This beautiful island that is like a sanctuary for us, yeah. So, welcome. My name's Kris Schaffer. I've had the privilege of building this garden, working with nature here at Neika. Neika, which means mountain or hill in the Aboriginal language. Where we are now is above the snow line, so 140 metres above sea level. So you've got that lovely, cool, wet forest atmosphere. In the late 1800s, this was all cleared, so this was grazed by horses and donkeys. It was degraded, forgotten pasture land. I've got small acreage now where I built my house out of celery top pine back in the early 80s. When I first acquired the land, I realised that I needed to grow a lot of plants. So to actually learn to propagate was critical to having so much open, degraded land. I really wanted to extend that knowledge further, so studying horticulture was that next step. Also, I was part of the Australian Plant Society, and that was a critical way of learning how to propagate and grow the more difficult Australian plants. When I first started the garden here, there was some climbing blueberries, Billardiera longiflora, growing. The Billardiera has been the first iconic bush food that I started propagating and growing. I've grown it to the point where I've had 6 kilo in my first big harvest. That's led on to being more and more specialist in bush foods. So bush foods have been my passion. I'm part of a national Aboriginal Women's Bush Food Alliance that ensures that we as women continue to work on country through the collecting and the cultivating and the cooking and eating of bush foods. When I was looking at creating the garden, I was aware that I wanted to have those species of plants that were best suited to this spot. These plants were put on the bare soil, so it was just a paddock of clay nothingness, and the Rishia Dracophyllus have grown beautifully without any extra care, so perfect environment. The Rishia Dracophylla is indigenous to this area, grows at this altitude and is an iconic plant of eastern Tasmania. This is Rishia pandanifolia, otherwise known as pandani, iconic Tasmanian endemic. I grew this from seed 30 years ago, and each successive year of flowering is bright red flowers under the leaves. Will live to hundreds of years if protected from fire. I've planted species that have attracted the birds especially, Banksia Marginata. Got Banksia Serrata as well. The Banksia is there for our manganas, the black cockatoos flying in. The legacy of this garden is letting nature do her thing, but those plants that belong here, if we can bring them into cultivation so that we can secure that's left in the wild, this is a demonstration of that. I've now got it so that it's just purely for the wildlife, so for the bettongs, the bandicoots, the potoroos, the paddy melons. So It's been a lovely combination of building a garden and working with nature. I believe it's using those Aboriginal, those Indigenous land management practices in the process of gardening that has made it so beautiful, actually.